Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers trespassing, the First Amendment, and resisting arrest, and is brought to us by the First Amendment Protection Agency's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Fume. Cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about voodoo or sacred crystals, we're talking about our sponsor, Fume, and they look at the problem in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong, so instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. It fills the void in a natural, guilt-free way. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing and anxiety while breaking your habit. When my Fume device first arrived, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised by how robust and filling the different flavors are. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com/audit or scan the QR code and use code AUDIT to get 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. The Fume Solano has officially launched, and you can upgrade your Journey Pack to the Solano and still get 10% off. That's tryfum.com and use code AUDIT to save an additional 10% off on your order today. On September 22nd, 2023, First Amendment Auditor John Medaglia III went to the City Hall building for New Ellington, South Carolina to conduct an audit. The New Ellington Police Department is located in the back of the City Hall building, but Mr. Medaglia entered through the public entrance for City Hall. Mr. Medaglia remained in the City Hall portion of the building and was filming the public areas when Chief Sean Middleton of the New Ellington Police Department approached him and informed him he was not permitted to film in the building. Mr. Medaglia posted the footage from his cell phone on his YouTube channel and later obtained and shared Chief Middleton's body camera footage, which captured the encounter that followed.
What are you in the middle of? Recording.
That one right there.
Oh, you want the history of New Ellington?
I'm sorry?
You want the history of New Ellington?
Maybe a little bit of it, wherever I can find in the public areas in here, yeah.
Okay, there's a library over there and give you all of it.
Okay, thank you. I did see that actually when I pulled up.
Okay.
From that way.
Show me out at my police department with a gentleman who is recording on the inside of the building. No, sir.
Are you?
Restricted area.
Where does it say that?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, if you don't mind, please,
No,
exit.
I do.
Exit, please.
No, thank you.
I'm only going to give you one more opportunity.
And then what's going to happen?
Exit the building.
No, thank you. As soon as I'm done.
Come on, sir. Please.
Excuse me.
Please.
Excuse me.
Let's
Please
exit,
don't
please.
touch me.
Let's exit, please, sir.
Can I have your name and badge number?
I'm Chief Middleton.
Okay.
My badge number is 200. Okay.
So why are you?
You can please
why
exit.
Are you putting your hands on me?
I'm going to exit you out of the building.
Okay. No, you're
okay?
not. You
No, I
just
did not assault you and did this.
You did not assault
Just
me.
like
You
this.
battered me. You
Let's go.
battered me. That's unnecessary battery.
Sir, please exit our building. This is enough.
No, thank you. I'm going to walk by now.
You're not going to walk by.
So why are you doing this? You came up to me and put your hands on me.
What is your agenda here?
What is my agenda?
That's right. What are you doing?
I don't need to tell you.
You say you were doing history. So you record that,
That's
you can
more
go to the
information
library.
than I need to give you.
Okay? If you don't mind, I would like for you to exit this building.
I do. I already told you that like 4 times.
All right. You under arrest?
Sir.
Now you're trespassing on
okay.
public property.
Look, trespassing on public property.
Yes, I gave you.
Trespassing on public property. Do you guys see this?
I gave you plenty of opportunities, sir.
Chief Middleton tells Mr. Medaglia that he is under arrest for trespassing on public property. Section 16-11-620 of the South Carolina Code states that any person who enters the premises of another person and fails and refuses, without good cause or good excuse, to leave immediately upon being ordered or requested to do so by the person in possession or his agent or representative has committed criminal trespassing. Although Mr. Medaglia did refuse to leave the building after Chief Middleton repeatedly ordered him to do so, as the Supreme Court of South Carolina determined in the 1970 case of State versus Hannipol when interpreting a prior but nearly identical version of the state's trespassing statute, quote, "This statute applies only to private property and has no application to public property, and therefore," now quoting again, "a conviction thereunder for an alleged trespass upon public property is not warranted and cannot be sustained." Now, while South Carolina does have a trespassing on public property statute, which is codified in section 16-11-630, it only prohibits refusing to leave publicly owned premises, quote, "during those hours of the day or night when the premises are regularly closed to the public." As the City Hall was open to the public at the time Mr. Medaglia was performing his audit, a court would almost certainly conclude that he could not be convicted of trespassing for his refusal to leave. Additionally, even if South Carolina's trespassing law applied to public property, Mr. Medaglia could argue that Chief Middleton violated the First Amendment by ordering him to leave for simply filming in the public lobby of City Hall. In the 2023 case of Sharp versus Winterville Police Department, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over South Carolina, joined the majority of federal circuits that have recognized that the First Amendment protects filming the police in public performance of their duties. Although the holding in the Sharp case was narrow, with the court simply stating that, quote, "We thus hold that live streaming a police traffic stop is speech protected by the First Amendment," in supporting its conclusion, the Fourth Circuit discussed the types of speech that are protected in much broader terms, noting that creating and disseminating information is protected speech under the First Amendment, that a major purpose of the First Amendment is to protect the free discussion of governmental affairs, and that other courts had routinely recognized that the First Amendment covers recording, particularly when the information involves matters of public interest. Likewise, other circuits that have addressed the issue have used more inclusive language to define the right to record. For instance, in the 2000 case of Smith versus City of Cumming, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals concluded that, quote, "The First Amendment protects the right to gather information about what public officials do on public property, and specifically, a right to record matters of public interest." And in the 2011 case of Glick versus Cuniff, the First Circuit Court of Appeals determined that, quote, "The First Amendment protects the filming of government officials in public space." However, the fact that filming is protected by the First Amendment does not necessarily mean that the government can never restrict the right to record in public. And here, Chief Middleton expressed concern for the privacy of activities occurring in the police department portion of the building. Now, although some courts have concluded that policies prohibiting filming in police department lobbies are reasonable restrictions that protect the safety, security, and privacy of officers, informants, and victims, Mr. Medaglia remained in the City Hall portion of the building, where these same concerns would not apply, and he would have a strong argument that any policy prohibiting filming in that area violated the First Amendment.
I want you to think about what you're doing right now.
No, you're making things more difficult than what it is.
Think about what you're doing.
I would like for you to exit the building. You're recording in here.
Yep.
This is the police department.
Yep. Now where are we going to take this?
You're going to go on the
This ought
outside.
to be fun for you.
And then you're going to leave.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to step right back in as soon as you take these cuffs off of me because you know you're making a mistake right now.
I asked you to exit, and you did not exit.
Look, this is going to be illegal search and seizure.
It's not illegal search and seizure.
Oh, why is that?
Because I don't have to search you. Because I detained you so you can get out of my building.
Thank you for taking the cuffs off me.
Have a good day, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, appreciate that. And I'll be going right back in.
He's going to try to come right back in. I'm not going to let this guy in.
Illegally
We're gonna lock this
arrested
building.
and detained for expressing my First
You have the
Amendment
key?
right in a public building.
Back up, please, sir.
No, thank you.
We're
For what?
closed.
No, you're not.
Back up.
No, you're not.
We're not playing this. I'm
No,
not playing this
I-
with you. Back up, sir.
No,
You can't put your
please
foot
do
there.
not
You
please do
cannot
not
put your
hands
foot there
on
to
me.
restrict
Dude, congratulations. You just earned the state of South Carolina a humongous lawsuit.
Sir,
humongous.
please.
You guys see this. I have to fight this man right now.
You wanna
I would
come in
suggest
here
to
and
you
make
that
a-
you just let me walk by.
No,
and do
I
my
don't
business,
suggest
and you go
anything.
about your day.
Okay?
Okay?
Does she have the, no, sir. Please exit the building.
Or what?
You're trespassing.
No, I'm not.
Okay? Please leave, sir.
No, thank you. He's gonna love it.
Sir, do not step in.
Look at this. Ow. Ow.
Sir, do not
ow,
step
you're
in,
hurting
please.
Me. Ow.
No one is hurting you. If you don't mind, please exit the building.
And again, we'll go for the circular conversation. No. No, thank you.
Okay.
Let's
You
do
want
it
a
again,
lawsuit? Get a lawsuit.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna give you a personal thank you. You just became my new best friend. I didn't know you that well before, but now you really are, and not in jest, you are my new personal best friend. So why am I not going to the,
Have a
to
seat.
the county? No, I'm good.
Have a seat, please.
No, thank you. And I'm actually not going to go in here, because there are no cameras in here.
There's a body camera right here.
I don't care. I don't
Okay.
trust you or your
Okay, that's
body
fine.
camera.
Where you want to sit? You want to sit back here?
It's not gonna be fine for you.
That's fine.
Say goodbye to your qualified immunity.
That's fine as well.
Am I free to go?
No,
No?
you're not.
I'm not. How come? Oh, not
For
okay.
trespassing.
On what?
Okay?
Trespassing?
Trespassing. That's
Okay.
right. I've asked you to leave several times. You would not leave.
Why did you ask me
Okay?
to leave? So you're just gonna continue to make this worse for you in the state of South Carolina?
Who are you? What is your purpose?
You can call me good citizen. So I'm just gonna sit here as long as you want me to sit here.
That's fine.
So are you gonna legally or illegally seize my phone right now, or can I have that?
No, you can have your phone.
Thank you, appreciate that.
There you go.
That's sad that you do not know your own laws as a chief.
Uh-huh.
You are, my friend. You're dismissed as well. I'm gonna walk away now.
1 second.
Please, excuse me. Don't stop touching me.
Gotcha.
Stop touching me right
well,
now.
I'll undetain him and we'll go.
Oh, there we go! Oh, undetained! Illegally detained. And look at that, the backpedaling went so far as the cuffs go.
That's right. I explained
Come
to
on
him
now,
that
let's
he was
see.
trespassing.
Let's
I
see.
no longer wanted him
Look at
recording
this,
into
the
this
use of
office.
force. You are in so much trouble, and I love it.
And that's what he
You
was
are in
doing.
so
He was
much
using the
trouble, and I love
phone
it.
pretty much where there was business.
we'll-
And I'm like, dude, you about to go to jail.
Bed this morning.
Or what the case may be. And you can hear him.
Wait,
Hey,
I
you cannot curse in this
Oh, no,
building.
I can. I can say whatever the I want to you. I can say
All right,
whatever
deal.
to you.
All right, I'm
go
going to
again.
detain him, Judge.
There we go
And he's
again.
arrested.
30 times the charm.
All right, this is a building you cannot curse.
No, I can't.
It's disorderly conduct.
No, it's-
Okay?
No, it's not.
Chief Middleton once again places Mr. Medaglia under arrest, claiming that he committed disorderly conduct by cursing. According to the state Public Disorderly Conduct Statute, which is found in Section 16-17-530 of the South Carolina Code, quote, a person who uses obscene or profane language on any highway or at any public place or gathering or in hearing distance of any schoolhouse or church is guilty of a misdemeanor. However, as the Supreme Court held in the landmark 1971 case of Cohen versus California, the simple use of profanity is protected by the First Amendment and therefore cannot be criminalized. Accordingly, as the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals explained in the 2016 case of Johnson versus Quattlebaum, South Carolina courts have construed the statute to require the use of so-called fighting words to sustain a conviction. As the Court of Appeals of South Carolina explained in the 2002 case of City of Landrum versus Surratt, quote, fighting words is defined as words that by their very utterance inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace. Fighting words must be inherently likely to induce the ordinary person to react violently. The fact that words are vulgar or offensive is not alone sufficient to classify them as fighting words, thereby removing them from the protection provided by the First Amendment. Accordingly, in the 2003 case of In the Interest of Jeremiah W., the Court of Appeals of South Carolina stated that, quote, it is well settled that the use of profanity alone does not constitute fighting words. Likewise, in the 2000 case of State versus Pittman, the same court determined that a disorderly conduct conviction, quote, requires more than profanity or loud and boisterous behavior directed at the officers. As Mr. Medaglia simply used profanity at a regular volume of speech and did not direct any personal insults at anyone, his speech inarguably did not rise to the level of fighting words, and therefore a court would almost certainly determine that he could not be lawfully arrested for disorderly conduct.
Two different cases now. First Amendment. So, are you gonna illegally?
Yeah, this is.
You're gonna
this is-
illegally seize my phone again?
No, I'm not
Again.
illegally seizing anything. All right.
Let's go. I'm kind of disappointed, man. I had so much respect for you. It's not gone. I love you right now, actually.
Here you go. Have a seat
I'm
in
so
there.
happy.
Have a seat, please, sir.
I feel threatened right now. I don't really feel like listening.
How?
to you. So none of these are lawful orders, so I'm not gonna listen.
Sir, you're
Use-
under arrest
use
for
force if
disorderly
you'd like.
conduct.
Use
For disorderly
force.
conduct.
Use force
okay?
if you'd like. Let's try to step
No,
out
I'm not
that
going to
far.
use force.
No, I know
okay?
you're not.
So if you don't mind, please have a seat
I
in
do.
the car.
Again, I do. I want that FOIA request.
You will get a FOIA request. You
know.
will get the video, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate that. You're buddy.
Okay, man. Have a seat.
No. Use force to put me in there.
I'm not going to use force to
I
put you
didn't
in
think
there.
so. That's why I'm gonna stand right here.
After placing Mr. Medaglia under arrest, Chief Middleton tells him to get in the back seat of the vehicle, and Mr. Medaglia refuses, claiming that the order is not lawful. Under Section 16-9-320A of the South Carolina Code, quote, it is unlawful for a person knowingly and willfully to resist an arrest being made by one whom the person knows or reasonably should know is a law enforcement officer. As Section B of this statute criminalizes assaulting, beating, or wounding a law enforcement officer while resisting arrest, Section A is often referred to as resisting arrest without violence. Accordingly, a court would likely find that an act of willful noncompliance and ignoring an officer's directive during an arrest could constitute a violation of this statute. However, it is highly probable that a court would conclude that Mr. Medaglia could not be convicted of resistance for refusing Chief Middleton's orders, as the underlying arrest was likely unlawful. Although many states allow for individuals to be convicted of resisting without regard to the legality of an underlying arrest, South Carolina law recognizes characterizes the right to resist an unlawful arrest with proportional force. As the Supreme Court of South Carolina explained in the 1929 case of State v. Francis, quote, "An unlawful arrest, or an attempt to make an unlawful arrest, stands upon the same footing as any other non-felonious assault, or as a common assault and battery. The person who is so unlawfully arrested, or against whom such an unlawful attempt is directed, is not bound to yield, and may resist force with force, but he is not authorized to go beyond the line of force proportioned to the character of the assault, or he in turn becomes a wrongdoer." Applying this and other precedent, the Supreme Court of South Carolina affirmed the right to resist in the 2001 case of State v. McGowan, holding that, quote, "A person may not be convicted of resisting arrest where the underlying arrest is unlawful." Accordingly, as long as a court agreed that Mr. Medalia's arrest for disorderly conduct was illegal, it is highly likely that Mr. Medalia could not be convicted of resisting arrest for his entirely non-violent refusal to get in the vehicle.
This is ridiculous.
You know you are in so much deep shit right now, dude. This is why you've backpedaled time and time and time again. And it's all on camera.
You cannot cuss. You cannot cuss.
That's unfortunate. It's already cost so many states so much money, and you're just adding to it, man.
Okay, that's fine.
Just adding to it.
Okay. Sir, you're under arrest for disorderly conduct.
At least the phone is still recording. There we go.
You're under arrest for disorderly conduct, so please have a seat in the
Okay,
video.
put me in the car then.
I'm not going to use force
I
to put
did
you in the
not
car.
think so. Once again,
Okay.
circular conversation.
You
all day.
are a grown man.
Yes.
You can get
I'm
in this
a grown
car.
man that's making my
Okay.
own decisions.
That's
And
right,
I'm not
you
gonna
are.
get in this car unless I'm forced in there.
Okay.
So why don't you do it? If
I'm
you
not
want me
gonna
in there?
force you to get in there.
Again, circular conversation. Didn't think so. I suggest you just take the cuffs off now, and you walk away and go about your day.
Okay.
Because you're already to begin with. You know this.
What's messed up is you're here provoking things.
No, I did not say a word to you. You came up to me.
That's right.
And caused a problem.
I got a call
You're
about you up
asking
there
the public,
recording.
Am I in restricted areas?
You're
You don't
recording
even know
in
your
that
own laws
restricted
that you're
area.
here to enforce.
Okay,
A
okay.
sad day for New Ellington.
Okay, sir.
A sad day for the state of South Carolina, man. But a happy day for me. You're going to bring a lot of publicity to this town now.
That's fine.
So be prepared for your
Okay.
face to be on the map everywhere.
After the arrest, Mr. Medalia was charged with public disorderly conduct and taken to the Aiken County Detention Center before being released. The current status of this charge is unknown, but during an update that Mr. Medalia live-streamed on his YouTube channel, he indicated that he would be filing a civil lawsuit. Mr. Medalia also filmed himself filing a complaint at City Hall and shared it on his YouTube channel. On September 29th, 2023, just a week after Mr. Medalia's arrest, Chief Middleton resigned from the New Ellington Police Department amid a state law enforcement division investigation into several alleged domestic incidents between Chief Middleton and his wife. It is unclear whether Mr. Medalia's arrest is also being investigated or played a role in Chief Middleton's resignation. Overall, Chief Middleton gets an F for exhibiting an alarming lack of knowledge regarding the protections the First Amendment grants to both filming and profanity, demonstrating substantial misunderstandings about state criminal laws, and illegally arresting Mr. Medalia 3 different times throughout the encounter. Even if Mr. Medalia had not been engaged in protected First Amendment activity, South Carolina's trespassing statutes clearly did not criminalize his refusal to leave a public building during the hours it was held open to the public. Likewise, the application of the state disorderly conduct statute to Mr. Medalia's use of profanity was plainly unconstitutional, as established by the Supreme Court back in 1971 and multiple state courts since then. I am unsure whether Chief Middleton was uninformed about the proper applications of the trespassing and disorderly conduct statutes, or simply did not care about the legality of his actions. But either way, the result of his conduct was multiple unlawful arrests and likely violations of Mr. Medalia's First and Fourth Amendment rights. Mr. Medalia gets an A because, although he at times was unnecessarily antagonistic in his speech toward Chief Middleton, he remained within his rights throughout the encounter, demonstrated a solid understanding of the protections granted to him by the First Amendment, and took proper recourse after the incident by filing a complaint and pursuing legal action. I commend Mr. Medalia for the efforts he made to ensure that he did not exceed the scope of his constitutional rights during the audit by entering through the public entrance to the City Hall portion of the building rather than the restricted entrance for the police department, checking the building's hours before entering to confirm that the building was currently open to the public, and remaining within the public lobby for the City Hall portion of the building. Additionally, while I typically do not suggest that citizens resist an officer's attempts to place them under arrest, in this rare instance, considering South Carolina's recognition of the right to proportionally resist an illegal arrest, and the fact that Mr. Medalia's arrest was so clearly unconstitutional, I cannot criticize Mr. Medalia for his purely non-violent non-compliance. However, viewers should keep in mind find that in order for an arrest to pass constitutional muster, an officer must only have probable cause to believe that an individual has committed an offense, and the fact that the citizen is innocent does not necessarily make the arrest unlawful. Likewise, in many states, an individual can still be convicted for resisting if the underlying arrest is unlawful, so it's generally much more advisable to comply with an arrest and then fight its legality in the courtroom. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.